Hey everyone, and welcome to another episode of Chris's Collection. So this is actually kind of a weird episode, but let me explain. So basically, I was tired of my Retron 5 not working and not reading any of my Genesis games, so I actually went out and bought a Sega Flashback HD, which actually reads cartridges, and I thought, oh, this is perfect. I'll be able to record stuff. Literally, every game worked except Sonic the Hedgehog 3. I have no idea why Sonic the Hedgehog 3 didn't work. Maybe it's something to do with the music and licensing. I don't know. But for whatever reason, I cleaned the cartridge and it was a brand new console and the pins were fine. But for whatever reason, it wouldn't work. Every other game worked. So going forward, we should be fine. All the games are going to work and we'll get through them. But for this episode, I didn't want to cheat you guys. So I put Sonic the Hedgehog 3 in the front, and then the latter half of the episode is a more traditionally done episode. So, yeah, enjoy this kind of like my thoughts on Sonic 3 as the prologue, and then we'll jump into I think it's Spider-Man is the one that follows it, which is more of a traditional episode. But alright, guys, let's jump in. Sonic the Hedgehog 3 is my favorite, well, with Sonic and Knuckles, is my favorite Sega Genesis game of all time. And kind of the story of how I got it is I think it's really interesting. Basically, the first time I ever played Sonic the Hedgehog 3 was at this awesome video store. It wasn't like a Blockbuster, it was more of like a smaller chain, and they had a Sega Genesis kiosk plugged in. So I would always go in the back and I would play it, and I had so much fun playing it. And I would always get to I would always finish the first level, and by the time the first level, maybe I was in the second level, my parents would be like, "All right, Chris, it's time to go," and I was like, "All right," and then we'd go with whatever movie or game I was renting and stuff like that. And they even sold popcorn. It was so cool. They would let you take home popcorn. They would pop popcorn in a popcorn machine, and then once you were done renting it, you could get like a bag and fill it with popcorn. And the whole idea was they're like, hey, go and take some popcorn home and stuff like that. And I thought that was so cool. Thing is, the game was always rented out because it was super popular. So back then, my parents couldn't really afford to get me games. So if a game was rented out, I was kind of shit out of luck. So I would usually rent something else, but I always would stick in my mind there. And so eventually, once I think we moved out and my dad got a better job and we got paid a lot more money and stuff like that. I don't know where it was that we saw it. It was probably like a KB Toys outlet or something like that, because we did a lot of those. But they had Sonic the Hedgehog 3, and I told my family, like, please let me get it. And they finally let me get it, and I loved it. I mean, I got Super Sonic in it, and I went crazy. I collected all the stuff to do. It was so much fun. So that's basically my Sonic the Hedgehog 3 story, and yeah, it was good times. I really had a lot of fun playing this while I grew up. All right, guys. So that was the pre-recorded, the footage that we had or whatever. Now we're gonna go ahead and jump into Spider-Man, and going forward, it will be in the old format like how NES was. So anyway, thank you guys for being patient, and here you go. Here's me playing Spider-Man. All right, awesome. Finally getting this to work. Spider-Man, yeah. Versus the Kingpin. What? But that's not what it said on the thing. Hi guys, welcome to Chris's Collection. And I'm so happy we finally have. I'm putting on easy. Oh, practice. Perfect. My stamina is hyper strong. Fucking want. Yeah. Anyway, welcome to Chris's Collection. This is. I'm so glad I could finally start recording again. So I'm so sorry about the previous videos. I actually got a Sega Genesis flashback that allows me to record stuff now because my Retron 5 crapped on me. So anyway, Spider-Man. The cartridge says, the game says Spider-Man, but then when you pop it in, it says Spider-Man versus the Kingpin. So I don't know what the real title is. I'm just going to say it's Spider-Man. Anyway, alright, so you're Spider-Man. You gotta like gotta web up these people. Because they're dicks. Anyway, oh, what? No, wait. Gotta stop. Fuck you, dude. She's an old lady. She did nothing to you. Anyway, so this is a game where you play as Spider-Man, as you. Oh, what a dick! Anyway, he plays Spider-Man, of course, and I'm not a. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing usually in this game, but I do have a story to tell. So let me jump into the story. Oh, look at this. Wonderful. Kingpin's the biggest crook the city's ever seen. He's convinced everyone I'm the bad guy. Fortunately, in patrolling the city, I've heard that Doc Ock's hiding out in a warehouse. If I'm going to find the Kingpin and clear my name, not to mention disarm the Bob, he must have planted that's the place to start. I better. Jesus Christ. Okay. Anyway, I do have a funny story with this game. So when I got a Sega Genesis, I was so happy that I got one. What the hell? Yeah, fuck you, dude. There you go. I was so happy that I got one, and I was just so like, oh, hell yeah, this is awesome. And what the... You know what? The web does nothing to the dog. Right on. Anyway, I was so happy I got it, and where my family lived at the time was this apartment in Philadelphia, I believe. And the first time I played this game, there was these girls that I was friends with that lived. I think that the person who owned the complex, the tenant, I guess is what they're called, the person who like makes sure you pay rent and all that shit. I'll get you, Spider-Man. She was the one in charge of all this, and I was friends with her daughters, and she had an older son as well. And so, anyway, to make a long story short, oh shit. Can I shoot my... There we go. Just gotta... There we go. Anyway, and so he owned a Sega Genesis. I didn't at the time. This is right before I got one. And I was like, oh my god, it's so cool. He's an old... Because, when you're younger, you look up to older kids. He was like a teenager. And I'm like, oh man, he's a teenager. And he has a Sega Genesis, and I don't. And fuck. And so, one of the games he had was Spider-Man. And I used to watch him play it, and I used to think it was so cool. And so I told myself, what a kick-ass game, man. Like, I want that game. I want Spider-Man. And I never bought it. I think he let me borrow it. I can't remember, but I never got it. And shit, I'm gonna die. And so when I got older and I was able to finally start my collection or whatever, or get the games I want to get. Yeah, without question, this became one of the first games I got. And do I think it's particularly... Oh, shit. Do I think it's particularly good? Not really. It's not a bad game, but it's not exactly, like my favorite game on the Sega Genesis. I think there's better games. But, it's fun, and it's Spider-Man, and I don't know. I mean, I think it's cool for what it is. Let's keep playing until I die, which I gotta tell you, it's gonna be pretty soon. It's supposed to be stopping. Yeah, this fucking rat. This rat can kill you. Goddamn rat can kill Spider-Man. It's bullshit. Oh shit! God damn it! Fucking rat. Look at them kicking rats. I mean, whatever, they just wanted to do something. Yeah, I think Dr. Octopus... Oh no, it's this dude. I used to think this dude was so fucking stupid. I'm like, fucking shut the fuck up, you fucking shit. But he was intimidating, man. Look at him. He's like fucking... He doesn't give a shit. He's just like, whatever, I'm gonna kill Spider-Man. And I'm dead. That's it. I know I have another life, but continue? Yeah, I think this is really cool. Yeah, he just like escapes. But anyway, guys, so that's the story of Spider-Man. Just I really thought that guy was cool, man. He had like awesome, games, and I don't remember. That's the only part of the story. I don't remember if he allowed me to borrow it or not. And those girls, I was friends with them. They had a NES, and so we would switch games with each other. Actually, Adventures in Magic Kingdom. That was the game that they. I think I told that story. Yeah, I told that story already. That was a game that they had that they let me borrow and stuff. So this is that same family. And obviously, when we moved from Philadelphia, I didn't stay friends with them. We moved. But anyway, all right, guys. Well, thank you so much for watching this weird stitched together Chris's collection, because I know we had a prologue with Sonic the Hedgehog 3, and hopefully going forward we could just do more classic episodes like this now that I have the Sega flashback. But anyway, guys, thanks for watching, and we'll be back later this week with another Chris's collection. Take care.